It's a beautiful Monday evening in Pennsylvania's capital city of Harrisburg, where tonight, two teams at the bottom of the Eastern Conference look to regain a little bit of a stronghold, as it is Ottawa Fury taking on Penn FC. Now, pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to our perch up atop FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening. It's a matchup between the Ottawa Fury and Penn FC. Two teams feeling better about themselves, especially the host team, though, Charlie, because Penn FC finally were struggling all season to find some goals, and now in the last game, able to put 3 on the board against Tampa Bay.
As beautiful a night on Friday night in the lousy weather as it is tonight on the pitch. Harrisburg, Penn FC had struggled offensively, scored 3 on Friday night, and equally significant, did not have a single save. Defenders knocking down shots, Pies are kicking some away and punching some others, but not a single shot on goal that was saved by the keeper.
And here are all 3 of those goals. We've already seen the Kyle Venter goal, the first of Tommy Heineman's, and then the second goal coming up right here as another header gives Heineman the brace and Penn FC the 3-0 victory on Friday night over Tampa Bay. And now here comes Ottawa, a team who's feeling a little bit better about themselves right now, coming off of a 0-0 draw against a very strong New York Red Bulls 2 team. And the guy that they're going to look to help them out is their keeper tonight, who's red hot, Max Crepeau. And Max Crepeau right now coming off of that they're coming off of that victory, Charlie, and nothing better than a hot goalie.
Nothing better than a hot goalie. Ottawa's had their difficulty scoring goals, as Penn FC had up until Friday night. This will be a defensive struggle. It's important for Penn FC to get on the board early.
On the other side of things, Penn FC, a lot of new faces in the lineup, so we're going to focus on one that returns from that game, and a guy who had an assist in that game. That's Freddie Opoku. A guy who came down that left wing, effectively able to cross with that left foot. Very dangerous player. His pace really helps speed things up.
His speed is the key to the offense in many respects. He runs those touch lines as fast as anybody. He delivers the ball well, and whether or not he can do that tonight may be the key to the offense for Penn FC.
These two teams in the standings right now scuffling a little bit. Ottawa is a team that right now has not won a game this year. They've lost 4, drawn 2. They are tied with Toronto FC 2 for last place in the Eastern Conference. With their win on Friday, Penn FC moved up to 12th place overall. And the great thing for them, if they can win tonight, they would actually move into the number 7 spot, tied with Indy 11 for a playoff spot potentially in the Eastern Conference. That's how bunched up things are right now. Let's take a look at our starting lineups right now, as we're going to take a look at the lineups for the Ottawa Fury, a team that 4 changes in their lineup, including in the back, Thomas Meyer-Giger.
Well done.
He will enter the game for Ottawa. Abassi, injured with an ankle. They were really looking for to have Abassi back on that left flank, on that left defensive back position. Unfortunately, he can't go. 2 other guys up top, Carl Haworth and Steven Dos Santos, 2 dangerous strikers up top for the Ottawa Fury. And our listeners, our viewers from Ottawa would understand what happened with the Penn FC team, because with hockey being so big up there, it was basically an entire line change tonight for Penn FC.
Still juggling the lineup, looking for the magic combination, changing the system around a little bit as well. We'll have a different look tonight. We'll see how it works out.
Looks like at least a 4-2-3-1 with Dan Metzger, Freddie Opoku, the only holdovers from last game. Raul Voss, the head coach for Penn FC, gets his first victory, very important for him, and against his former team, Tampa Bay. So he's got to be feeling great coming into this matchup.
A lot of homecoming moments on Friday night, and really a solid win for Penn FC, and a real opportunity week this next couple of days, Brian, as they have an opportunity to move up significantly in the standings.
And you see the opposing head coach, Ottawa Fury's Nikola Popovich. He's a guy who a year ago was coaching Swope Park Rangers all the way to the USL Championship game. Decided to part ways with them mutually, and has decided to take this head job on at Ottawa, finding it a little bit difficult in the early going, but they have a little momentum right now, and they're looking forward to their opportunity to coming to Pennsylvania and trying to secure their first win of the season. So coming up next, it's Penn FC taking on Ottawa Fury, a matchup between 2 of the teams looking to move up in the Eastern Conference. It comes up next. This is Penn FC Soccer.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
And welcome back here to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where it's going to be the Ottawa Fury FC at 0-4-2, 2 points overall, and tied for last place in the Eastern Conference, taking on Penn FC. The hosts are 1-2-4, 7 points overall, getting that all-important first win of the season this past Friday against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. You see both teams doing their final preparations out there on the pitch right now. There's the Ottawa Fury right there in the base white, and on the other side, the host Penn FC in their base blue with the white trim. One of the sharper kits in the entire USL. A little biased, but it's sharp.
Good.
Question is, will this group look as good as they did on Friday for Penn FC? Because it's an entirely new group out there, save 2 guys. The only holdovers, Dan Metzger at that holding mid position, and then Freddie Apoko over on the outside wing, most likely the left side, which it appears he's going to go to again today.
2 exciting and pivotal players for Penn FC as Coach Voss continues to juggle the lineup, looking for the combination that works best for him. Interesting, those 4 draws, Brian, are the second most in the league, largely because Penn FC has played well defensively, but hasn't up until Friday night been a goal-scoring machine.
We also can say the same for the Ottawa Fury. 2 goals for them in 6 games overall. And they will need some production out of their guys up front. Steven Dos Santos, Carl Howarth, and Adonijah Reed, the 3 starting forwards in Coach Nikola Popovich's 4-3-3 formation. Our center referee tonight is Matt Frantz. He blows his whistle, and we are underway here in Harrisburg. Kevin Locke and Jay Hutchinson are your assistant referees. Rob Ryan Sr. has the duties as the 4th official. The ball will start in the back with the Ottawa Fury.
Perfect conditions down on the pitch tonight. Could not ask for better or more.
First of the 4 home games, we can say that for Penn FC. Had a little precipitation and chill for some of the other games, but this one has pristine conditions out on the pitch, and it is the Fury who have the opening possessions of it. Will be very confident in the back. Colin Falvey wears the armband today for the Fury, and for Penn FC, it will be Ken Tribbett who has the armband on. Over to that outside, Eddie Edward cannot get there in time, and it's going to be a throw-in coming up for Penn FC.
Tribbett, one of the more electric goals thus far this season, and bringing a draw against a very strong Charleston side a couple of weeks ago. Bicycle kick at near the end of the match. I don't remember how much time was left, but not much.
That was in the 89th minute of play where Penn FC able to equalize and remain unbeaten at home on the season, as it is right now a record of 1-0-2 with those 2 draws in the first 2 games at home, and then the most recent one against the Rowdies, that 3-0 outburst.
Penn FC has historically played very well here at FMB Field. A great place to watch a game too. An opportunity for fans to come out and enjoy some great family entertainment.
Before the rebranding of this team a year ago, the Harrisburg City Islanders won their home game here on this field against the Ottawa Fury, but now it's the Fury who are taking a charge at it. We've got a good tackle called by Calvano, as he was able to take on the left back, Meyer Jaguar, and a shot goes rolling in on Sean Lewis, who gets the keeper duty today from Jamar Dixon, who took that long-range blast. So an easy first stop for the Penn FC keeper. Ball chipped forward. Lucky M. Kasana with the golden boots on. Ball's going to be sent out of play. It'll be throw-in time for the Ottawa Fury. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. On the middle of the field, long ball played, and on the run is Adonijah Reed. He's over here to the left side of the box. 1v1 against Barone. Cuts to the inside, tries to get to the byline first, and it's out of play. It's going to be a goal kick for Penn FC.
A couple of interesting developments here on this near side, running this touch line very hard, Brian, and looking to move the ball forward on some long runs.
Interesting that this also, Charlie, is a change in formation for Penn FC. And actually, is there another change in the starting lineup? It looks like Marco Franco is out there instead of Barone. So that is a last-minute change, and that was not in the lineups that were given to anybody. And it is actually Franco who is out there at the right back position, as he has been recently. So that is an interesting change. And he has played well there and has been dangerous on both ends. And he's got it now on that right side. Pass down, looking for Mkasana. The ball comes right back out. And it'll be Penn FC who will have the throw-in coming up.
And the eagle eye of my partner, Brian Kaiser, picking that up because it wasn't on anybody's lineup card.
So Franco will throw it in now. But the Penn FC change. So we had an injury in pregame, we're being told, in the truck. So the injury in pregame to Barone makes the change, and now it is Marco Franco who gets the start tonight for Penn FC. Over on that left side. Cutting to the inside. Check that out. It was Jake Bond who was injured. That's Barone on the far side, and now it is Apoku who will take the shot. Over to Barone. Barone will chip it into the box. Mohammed is there, headed away from danger, though, by Meyer Jaguar. 50-50 ball, one in the midfield. Here comes Franco with a little bit of pace on the right side. Trying to get her around Dixon. Has to cut back the other way with square ball. That's Menjivar. Franco looking to cross, does. Low cross, punched away by Crepo. And headed by Penn FC, but right into the frame. And here comes Reed the other way. Towed out by Calvano, and it'll be forcing a throw in.
The good service through those long crosses, Brian, was the key on Friday night. All 3 goals scored on very, very well delivered crosses. And you're seeing it again tonight. That's what they're looking for in the middle.
Meyer Jaguar to throw in over here on the near side. Looking for some movement from somebody. Doesn't get any, and Calvano is able to step in front of the pass. Front there's a Poku. A little space over there to Barone. Now inside, making his debut this year, Haruna Shaibu for Penn FC, the Ghanan national. So his first appearance of the year. Youngster, just 19 years old, 6'4", a lot of size back there in that holding mid-roll in Penn FC's 4-2-3-1 tonight. They've been going with 3 in the back pretty dominantly the entire season thus far, but because of the position changes and the number of players that they've changed up, they go with a different look tonight. Long ball played by Franco goes over the end line for a goal kick for the Ottawa Fury. We are in the 7th minute of play, still scoreless between Penn FC and Ottawa. Get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blake Down on the USL YouTube channel. A goal kick coming up from Max Crepo. Headed back into the middle. Shaibu. We got a handball called there. And we're going to have a little talking to also. We're going to see a card this early? I would think not.
Just a verbal warning. But you did see about 10 calls on that play all at once. It was
Christian Portilla.
Everybody was on top of that.
He has one of the 2 Fury goals on the season, and the only one who is available for this one in the starting lineup, as Ottawa has brought only 5 subs here. And we have a hard challenge called over on that far side as the enforcer inside, Colin Falvey, goes over there. And on that challenge will be whistled for the foul. Falvey, a real veteran. And will walk things off, but you look at Falvey and what he's done in his career thus far. His 2nd season with Ottawa, he was with the team back in 2015. Last 2 years was with the Indy 11, but all the way back to 2013 when he was with the Charleston Battery for a 5-year stretch. Was the USL Pro Defender of the Year that year, so a lot of pedigree there. Ball chipped in the box by Penn FC. Headed out, and at least up momentarily, by Jamar Dixon. Penn FC looks to keep it in. Here's a Poku trying to get around the outside. Crosses, looking far post. Header! And Tribbett looking for a second goal of the season. Got a deflection on that one. It'll be a corner kick, something that Penn FC didn't have a single one on Friday night.
And Opoku got exactly what he wanted on that. Kept it from going over, delivered the cross very, very well, and the only thing there was a deflection off of the header.
Tribbett was up there as one of those center backs because of the set piece opportunity. So the fact that he was up there and remained up there gave them a chance in the air. And it will be, I believe, Opoku coming over to this near side with the in-swinger. Near post, chip back, shot fired high by Metzger. Set play that time for Penn FC as they went right to the near post and trying to set up the former New York Red Bulls 2 player, Dan Metzger.
No real challenge on that one though, Brian.
We are in the 10th minute of play. Scoreless Penn FC and Ottawa. First real flurry of the game though there with some opportunity for either team. That one coming for the hosts.
And both sides have been feeling each other out in the early going, and you're correct. That was the first real flurry and real scoring opportunity.
Tribbett will head it back. Easy play for Sean Lewis, who on the season has one previous start before this one. It was a successful one, at least from a keeper's perspective. He didn't get the win that night. That's because his team didn't score, but neither did the opposing team, a 0-0 draw in that outing. That was the last homestand that this team had. He was able to get that draw. Long ball played and over the far sideline by Ottawa as that one sprayed out of play by Falvey. So the throw-in coming up for Penn FC on that far sideline. Fury in the middle of the field will switch the point of attack over to the near side. Meyer Jaguer. Now into Reed, who's dispossessed the ball. Well done by Franco, and Reed will foul him on the way back. Quick double team that time, Charlie, between Metzger and Franco. Well timed.
Well timed, good tackle, and here they come the other way.
So it's Tribbett, Shaibu, Barone, and right back to Tribbett. We get to see exactly what formation the Fury are playing at this point, that 4-3-3. Ball goes wanting that time as Mohammed looking for an on-rushing Franco down that right flank. So the throw-in coming in for the Ottawa Fury. Play My First Million, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Mohammed already was on the ground. So Franco will chip it forward. Cheeky play that time because it almost gave M. Kasana a chance to run onto it. He's pressuring at this point. Portilla played it back to Falvey, now over to Eddie Edward on the right flank. To Falvey, has a little bit of room. Daniil Henry's a guy that they were very happy to get back into their lineup at center back. You need that center back pairing, a trusted duo back there now in Falvey and Henry.
So important, the mainstay in that back line and bringing it on.
Throw-in coming up for Penn FC. And you have the same sort of thing here on this Penn FC side too, Charlie, tonight with Tiago Calvano, Ken Tribbett, a couple of veteran players in the back.
Tiago Calvano has been on the back line of that defense for several seasons now, has really held up for most of the matches that they've been involved in. I mean, you think about what he does, both in the play and creating the defense around the play. He's always involved.
So here comes a free kick opportunity, a foul called against Penn FC about 30 yards away from goal.
Dangerous spot on the field.
Kevin Oliveira is one of the players over top of it. He's not the one who takes it. It's a left-footed shot and a fiery shot that time taken that Falvey who took that one?
It was. He had a lot of mustard on that shot, Brian, just wide of the far post.
No, that actually was Christian Portilla who took that left-footed shot. Man, that did not miss by much. A lot of pace, and Lewis had his far post covered as well as possible, but man, that was a rocket.
A laser. I mean, he really put everything into that. Well struck and really pretty much where he wanted it.
Portilla, 29-year-old out of Santander, Spain. Cut his teeth over in the Racing de Santander Youth Academy. And he was a player who a year ago had a couple of teammates from this Penn FC team. Muhammad, who's starting tonight, Heinemann and Pizer, who are not available for tonight's action because they played on Friday and probably will feature in Penn FC's Wednesday after morning game.
Morning game.
I'll say afternoon because you can't even fathom playing an 11 a.m. game, but that's exactly what time they're going to be going out there.
Yeah, an unusual start time, Brian, and with the travel time in between, although they're playing one of the weaker sides in the USL, it's a really brutal travel schedule. So the opportunity to pick up some points for Penn FC, but they're going to have to do it against some difficult travel odds.
As I was saying about Portilla, he played last year with the San Francisco Deltas. And Heinemann, Pizer, Mohammed, and also Portilla, and a couple of other guys who are Ottawa Fury members. It would be Maxim Tissot and also Nana Adekora. Those 6 gentlemen were all on that Deltas team that won a championship a year ago in the NASL before the franchise folded. Good play that time.
Nice
Here comes
ball.
Reed into the box. And well defense that time as Penn FC got back in numbers. The initial steal that time was made by Meyer Jaguar, who has been very solid already in the early going here in this 15th minute. Over at the left back position, replacing the injured Onawa Abassi.
A very impressive takeaway and a very nice through ball. That could have been very dangerous.
So it'll be Dixon for the Ottawa Fury. Fury will swing it all the way back to Henry, back just into his own half of the field. Falvey, Edward. Check that Portilla over there as Edward had creeped up a little bit further. Penn FC wins the ball. Here's M. Kasana looking to counter. He has no support though because one of his players goes down. M. Kasana over on the other side. Here comes Mohammed. A shot, and it is deflected away, and because Mohammed got there last, he will be whistled for the foul just inside the box. Poku went down over on that far side as we saw some numbers coming, but you see on this replay, Muhammad, the first touch betrays him, and as he went to the inside, clips the ankle of the guy coming over to clear it. So it'll be Crapo to take the restart here. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening here from FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's Penn FC taking on the Ottawa Fury in a 0-0 draw between two of the teams who have among the least goals scored in all of USL soccer. Menjivar with it for Penn FC. Metzger toes it out to Mohammed. Now to Franco on the right flank. Low ball chested high in the air. M. Kasana will challenge Crapo, but when you can reach those arms up,
it gives you a little bit of an advantage, Brian.
Just a little bit. Crapo not a tall keeper at 6 foot even.
You don't have to be when you can stretch your arms up. M. Kasana, though, has played every keeper tough. He likes to be in their face, and every once in a while, there's benefit to that.
The former New York Cosmo, as well as former Harrisburg City Islander, still looking for his first tally of the young season.
Are those gold or lime green boots he's got on tonight? They're very colorful, but I can't quite pick up exactly what they are.
I think technically they're lime green. I have such a trouble with, I just want to call things by their basic color, and nobody ever wants to go with like yellow, green, colors of the rainbow stuff. It's all stuff like lime and turquoise. And
well, they're very colorful. You can pick them up from a long way away.
Ball chested down, and Lewis seeing it from a Calvano just in time. Tribbett also helping out as Dos Santos was on the prowl on the front porch looking to pounce on an inaccurate ball. Here comes Dos Santos trying to play it up, looking for Reed, who will not be able to run onto that one. And again, Lewis is busy off his line.
He's had to come out several times tonight because of those through balls. They're just not quite on the mark, but if they are, they're going to be real trouble. The defenders are going to have to be looking to seal up those lanes.
So we roll into the 19th minute of a scoreless game between Penn FC and Ottawa. Menjivar plays it. Mohammed turns around, finds the ball there, goes near post, and Crapo with a good reaction save to dive and gobble it up.
Decided to take the quick strike, and that was probably the wise thing to do. Actually made the keeper work for that one.
Salim Mohammed, very quick trigger that time. I think he was surprised that the ball was there.
I think he was. He was looking to the middle, had a passing opportunity there, but decided to take the quick strike, and that could have been real trouble for the Ottawa side.
Mohammed was a guy who a year ago was with that San Francisco Deltas team, his first year here with Penn FC. He actually earned a contract with the Deltas last year. There was a 300-player tryout. He was the only one signed in that entire group.
That's pretty impressive. You get that many players on the pitch and everybody getting an opportunity to have a look, and you're the one they pick. That says a lot.
Calvano with it in the back for Penn FC. Now to Franco. Shaibu. Ghanaian passes it up to Mohammed, who's dispossessed. Again, there's that guy, Meir Jaguer.
And Ottawa has certainly tackled well tonight. They've marked well and they've tackled well.
And a foul called against Shaibu.
And he does not like the call.
The youngster will see them put it down, and it is Carl Howarth wearing the captain's armband for Ottawa tonight, who will roll the ball back to Colin Falvey. No, I got that wrong again. Sorry. That is Portilla, who continues to play. He plays that holding mid position and continues to slide further and further back. Falvey moves up, and it is Portilla who looks far post. And Penn FC able to head it away with Calvano. And Casano with those lime greens. Spinning to the outside with that one, but unable to keep it in is Menjivar. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Still no score, Penn FC and the Ottawa Fury. Two teams split a year ago when Penn FC was the Harrisburg City Islanders, each team winning their home match. All played into the Penn FC box, back to Sean Lewis.
And you expect a closely played match between these two sides tonight, and that's what you're getting. And as you correctly point out, a year ago, even Steven, both at home.
And here comes Franco looking for Mohammed. Mishit his cross, but now Metzger with a chance. Deflection goes wide, and it last touches off of Penn FC. I think they're going to say it last hit.
It's a goal kick. Yeah.
Goal kick coming up for Ottawa. There's that long-range opportunity, though, for Metzger. So you see this one deflects out to him, and he is quick to pounce. This one fired low. Boy, it looks like they missed that.
Yeah, I think they did on the replay.
Like Henry was the guy who got the last touch to it. So a break for the Fury. Ball headed back into the Ottawa end. Falvey back to get it. Sees Menjivar coming, and all he can do is play it over the far sideline. A little less advantageous position for the throw. Salvatore Barone getting the start over there at the left back position tonight for Penn FC. Continues to creep forward. Poku out muscled for it. And they're going to say that it last went off of him. It's a good play over there by the veteran defender, Eddie Edward. Poku looking for Shaibu. Shaibu with it. Bring it over here to the near side. Not much on that, so Franco doesn't want to turn with it. Instead, they'll play it all the way back. I think this honestly is, as we sort of expected between two very defensive-minded teams, Charlie. This entire first half to this point almost feels like a feeling out period because the two teams trying to figure out what they can do to break each other down.
Yeah, we said, early in the match they were feeling each other out. They still are. I mean, you could just see them, little pokes here, little penetrations there, but nothing sustained, nothing, in terms of a mounted attack. But you're going to see it here momentarily. I think that, they've got each other figured out now. They know what they have to do. Each side comes in with a game plan, and they're starting to work it. You can begin to see the differences between the two styles of play right now, but we expect a defensive battle.
Some good skill over there by Barone against a double team to keep the ball in his team's possession. Now Penn FC rushing on, and Falvey again will go over to give the throw, but it will be deflected off the foot of Mkasana. So it'll be Ottawa throw in on the far side. We already talked about Penn FC's next game. Penn FC will play at Toronto, and that will be 11 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So you can check that game out. Toronto FC 2 will be the host of that one. And this Ottawa team, they also get to go back to Canada. So both teams will be going north of the border after this one, as Ottawa's next game will be at home this Saturday, May the 12th, as they will host Atlanta United at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is the first of a 4 out of 5 game homestand. They have a game after that against the Charleston Battery on the road, but then 3 straight more at home for Ottawa. Give them a chance to try to get going if they can't do it tonight.
I wonder how many 11 a.m. starts there are midweek. This isn't on a weekend, midweek, 11 a.m. start.
Mohammed, great piece of play, able to draw the foul on Jamar Dixon.
And now a set piece from a very dangerous position on the field for Ottawa. A real opportunity here for Penn FC. Let's see how they set it up. These set pieces are very interesting to see because they're utilizing some different looks this year than they did last.
We're going to say this is about 25 yards out from goal. And we're going to see Menjivar over there with his right foot. And you've got a Poku with his left foot. Might depend what they want to do. Menjivar looks like the guy who wants to take it, though, but it will be Menjivar chipping back post. Easy catch for Crepeau.
Yeah, not much danger on that one, but you saw what they were trying to do. I mean, they really want to swing those crosses and see if they can get those headers.
A little too close to the keeper, and Max Crepeau, 23-year-old, Sainte Catherine, Quebec, able to make the grab. No save credited there on the interception of the cross.
Yeah, and a significant number of Canadians on this Ottawa Fury side. You don't necessarily expect homegrown talent, pardon me, on each of these teams, but Ottawa certainly has their share.
Yeah, you give them a lot of credit for looking and mining wherever they can in the Canadian borders. Several players from Quebec, some Ontario, even a couple, 1 or 2 from British Columbia.
I think I saw a Nova Scotian in there as well, so they've spread it out. But
one from Edmonton.
A lot north of the border.
So it is Reed with it right now. Franco trying to mark him. Pass on the backside. Dos Santos looks to redirect, and a great job as Lewis was beaten on the play, but the shot had very little on it. And going back to save that one was Ken Tribbett.
A great defensive player there by the the Penn FC back there, Tribbett. Otherwise, that's in the net. Keeper was out of position, and had that shot had a little bit more on it.
Dos Santos is a guy who has always been dangerous since his days with the Rochester Rhinos. 2014, 2015, 17 goals in his 2 years there. This is his second season with Ottawa. Had 10 goals a year ago, still looking for his first marker this year. Here's the corner from the Fury, headed right back out. Fury still will press their advantage. Oliveira, Lewis able to jump up and grab that one and keep it out. Looking across on that far side again for the very sizable Dos Santos, who is an imposing figure at 6'4" on the back post.
And again, give Tribbett a lot of credit on that last time down, Brian. Saved a goal for sure.
So Penn FC facing their really the first real offensive flurry there from Ottawa in this match. We We are in the 28th minute of play, and it is still scoreless between Penn FC and Ottawa. Franco to Menjivar. Center of the pitch is Metzger. Cuts one way, comes back the other. Goes back to Franco on the right side. Pass inside. Making the cut was Menjivar. Drops it off. Metzger. Mkasana. Tipped over. And offside is Mohammed. They had it going.
They did. That's an unfortunate offside. That cost them a little bit because they did have it going. It was good interior passing there. And when they swung it out to the outside, a step ahead of the defender, or behind the defender.
Play My First Million, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $1 million. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. So Ottawa will have the ball after that. Penn FC able to string about 7 passes in a row together that time before the offside. Falvey with it. Now it's Portilla. He'll switch it to the opposite side with Daniil Henry. Looking for somebody, and now he'll send it to the opposite side once again. There is Edward. Heads it back. Oliveira. Meyer Jaguar. Henry back over on that other side. Falvey will finally go long with it. Tribbett gets there first, chests it down, can't keep it in play. There'll be a throw in on the far side of the box for the Ottawa Fury. Edward can move that ball all the way down, and the referee says, you're going to move the ball all the way down.
Letting him know who's in charge.
Our center referee, Matt Franz. Rather uneventful for him so far. Dispossessed the ball are the Fury, and now here's Mkasana, who was checking all the way back, but that's an inaccurate pass. Looking to spring Franco, not enough bend on that one, and it'll be Ottawa once again in their offensive half with the throw-in. Fury looking for their first victory of the season. 6 matches, 4 losses, 2 draws, although the last one was a very encouraging sign for the team, playing a team with the firepower of New York Red Bulls 2 and being able to keep them scoreless.
No question about it. And on the other side, Penn FC is really looking for the opportunity tonight to pick up some points before they hit the road. They play very, very well here at FMB Field. As you correctly pointed out, took the match against Ottawa here last season, and tonight is an opportunity for them to pick up. And again, both teams in a defensive posture throughout the season, evidencing that again tonight with a really tight defensive battle.
Apoku can't get by Falvey. Edward comes back to win the ball for Ottawa. It's a big opportunity for Penn FC. Let's remember the schedule, not only the timing of some things, as we've seen and noted already, but also the schedule itself, because of the inavailability of FNB Field for much of the season, especially in June, July, and August, as Franco clears it over the near side. They will have to play 17 of their first 25 games on the road.
And for our friends from out of town, the portion of the pitch you see right now is the reason. That's the infield of a baseball field, which is what the major sport here at FMB Field is. And the Harrisburg Senators take over this ballpark for much of the season. And unfortunately, that means no home games for Penn FC.
Shot that time from Dos Santos goes wide of the mark. And just that quick trigger from him shows you how dangerous he can be. He's a guy who, quick trigger, very volatile player too, a very emotional player is Steven Dos Santos. Cares a great deal about things, and sometimes has that get the best of him, but man, when he gets going, he can be one of the better strikers in this league.
And that passion is what makes him go, and it is with all human beings. Your greatest strength is probably your greatest weakness, but his passion is what makes the engine fire. And as you correctly point out, when he's firing on all 4 cylinders, he's as dangerous a striker as there is. And, you know, every once in a while, it gets the best of him. But I'm sure any coach would take the firepower that he has.
Calvano back to Tribbett as Penn FC in the base blues with the possession here in the 33rd minute. Shaibu over to Calvano. Crosses the sided area, looking for Mkasana. A little too strong for him. Not a bad ball, though, or look. Crepeau over to get that one quickly.
Not a bad look at all. The defender there had to really play him very, very tightly because it was a well-delivered ball. Good service into the box, and you want to see those things, Brian. He had the good look. He saw the opportunity. He took it, and that's how you create space. That's how you create scoring opportunities, and eventually they lead to goals.
Keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds.
Foul, Penn FC.
Got a foul on Penn FC near the middle of the field, so it'll be a restart coming up for Ottawa. Thomas Meyer-Giger thought about it for a moment, and now they're going to try to set something up a little bit more permanent with Kevin Oliveira, the Cape Verde national. One of 2, Dos Santos the other on this Fury roster. Oliveira, very talented 21-year-old, will put his right foot to it. Chipping it far post. Dos Santos, his countryman, was his target.
Goal kick,
Nothing going there as he had Thiago Calvano marking him every step of the way.
For more information, visit selectphysicaltherapy.com.
Have your say on the USL's Player of the Month award for April in the online poll at uslsoccer.com that opens on Thursday, May 3rd and runs throughout the weekend. Remember, lots of great stuff going on the uslsoccer.com website every single week. Always get caught up to date. It's on my favorites page for sure. Whenever I'm hopping on the internet, one of the first places I'm going.
That's why you have encyclopedic knowledge about this game, Mr. Kelsey.
Well, I try.
You do well, Brian. You do.
Throw in coming up for Penn FC, and here is an opportunity.
Actually, he's moving him further down the touchline. It's going to be almost to the corner.
This is where if you have somebody who has a good long throw, then you would use it.
Not that time.
And offside is the call. Missed opportunity there.
It really is. That's frustrating. Those are 2 mental errors down there where, you know, they might have had an opportunity to build something.
This is also, Charlie, the other place where the schedule sort of works against this Penn FC team because they have that big win on Friday against Tampa Bay. You'd love to have the next game where some of the same guys who played in that game really got that cohesion going, and now you have 8 new guys out there on the pitch. You got a very, very different lineup, and you lose that chemistry, that cohesion, whatever you want to call it. And it looked like on Friday night, Coach Voss really had both the combination of players and the combination of system working really, really well. So you're right. The schedule works against you in that regard because you got to come out here this evening and play with a different group. Would expect a lot of those same guys, though, to feature coming up in that game in Toronto in 2 days. One guy who will not feature for them, Mauro Estaquio, he is out for some time with a knee injury as he came in as a late second half substitute and went out about 3 minutes after he came into the match.
Yeah, and we are all saying our prayers for him because that was obviously a very serious injury. We haven't gotten any reports yet, but he was in a lot of pain and had to be taken off on the cart.
We know he's out for today. We know he's going to be out for Wednesday as well, as Shaibu is able to progress the ball up to midfield and win the throw-in for Penn FC. But he was a key guy who, Estaquio, a guy who continually was one of the better players, a dual Canadian and Portuguese national who had 5 starts and in his 7th appearance of the year incurred that knee injury. That is going to keep him out for a while. Trevitt plays it up the field. Well done by Apoku to get the ball back in the middle.
Very nicely played.
Gerard Shaibu. Now over Tribbett. So loose pass that Tribbett able to track down because there's no pressure on him at all. Fortunately so.
Yeah, because had there been, that would have been real trouble. And these errant passes have been a problem across that back line. They're going to have to just tighten up their play and be really quick mentally. I mean, a lot of these mistakes that are being made right now, Brian, are not physical mistakes, they're mental mistakes. And you can always take care of the mental mistakes. Physical mistakes are going to happen. Players are human, they're going to make those. But the mental mistakes can be cut down on.
Metzger drop back to that right back position as Franco in the advancing position. Now looking for Franco, drops it back. Here's Mohammed up to Metzger. Nice little touch pass.
Ball.
Franco inside. Mkasana going to touch to it. Got a little contact as well, and it's going to be a goal kick. As just enough bodyman up there by Colin Falvey was able to throw off any chance of an on-target shot, as we see once again some great passing, including
saving to buy a new home? The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency offers down payment and closing costs.
Helped to the ground by Mkasana working with him and the official and deciding that he would give the goal kick instead.
That was a very well delivered ball, though, and you've got to be pleased if you're Coach Voss to see that kind of play.
Raul Voss, head coach for this Penn FC team, 34-year-old, in his first year as a head coach, in his first year with this Penn FC franchise. He was an assistant with Tampa Bay the last 2 years, and the victory he got for his first one as a head coach was against his former mates, 3-0 on Friday night.
A lot of homecomings on Friday night. Players that had played for each squad facing off against each other again. A couple of moments got a little testy there.
He was the portrait of poised right there as we just saw him on our camera a moment ago. Very calm right now. Foul called now, though, against the Fury. And this, once again, will be in a dangerous situation. And this is a place where I think after the last time trying to chip one, depending where this is going to be, it might be a little too far out. But if you're going to take one,
this might be the spot.
Menjivar was thinking about playing it quick, and Matt Franz, the center referee, didn't want anything to do with it. He was going to walk off 10. 40th minute is closing with a scoreless match between Penn FC and the Ottawa Fury. Menjivar and Opoku are the two over top of it. Going to estimate about 40 yards out from goal. Menjivar chips, looking back post. Little piece of it by Henry first, and it will be cleared over the near side by the Fury. Throwing coming up for Penn FC as they continue to try to press the attack. Metzger. A move by Muhammad. No calls he tried to get through to, and he is frustrated at that.
He is not a happy young man.
Looked at the AR right next to him. Could not believe he didn't get the call. Metzger will throw in. And they're going to say, once again, they are too far forward, as they were. So they will bring it back. Play the new My First Million, the brand new scratch off from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play today for your chance to win top prizes of $1 million. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux here from FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where the Penn FC, the host, in a scoreless deadlock, but a giveaway now by the host in the back. And here comes Ottawa on rushing. Chipped over to the side. Down goes Reed. No call. And the ball will be harmlessly over the end line.
Those giveaways in the midfield, though, really are something that I'm sure Coach Voss is going to say at halftime has to stop. They've given away 2 or 3 of them, and they weren't even tough tackles. They were errant plays on the part of Penn FC. They're really going to have to tighten that up. We're now into the 42nd minute of play here in the first half. I don't think, Brian, we're going to get much stoppage, if any at all. So, you know, this defensive battle winds down here in the first half.
Ball's going to be played over the far sideline by Ottawa. Throw in for Penn FC. ESPN Plus is the new streaming home of the USL in the United States. Watch all the action throughout the 2018 regular season and USL Cup playoffs starting on Saturday, April 14th. Visit USLsoccer.com for more details. Ball headed by Muhammad. Back out to Franco, who last-minute substitute for the injured Jake Bond, who was injured during pregame warm-ups tonight. He was intended to get the start. Franco then became one of 3 guys who ends up starting who was in that lineup against Tampa Bay on Friday night. Quick turnaround and a whole bunch of new bodies out there for Penn FC tonight. Here's Calvano. Shaibu. Now here's Menjivar. Played out. Good tackle that time. Portilla was the guy who was over there to help out and knocked that one out. Ball slips off the arms of Barone, but he'll get it back. Chips it inside. M. Kasana looking to turn on his man, and the ball cleared. Well defended that time by Meyer Jaguar, where that one is a potential goal for Mohammed coming on the backside.
There definitely was an opportunity there. Not well played by the Ottawa defender, and another opportunity for Penn FC.
Dangerous Carl Howarth, who we have not heard much from in this game so far. Snuck forward there and was dispossessed of the ball. Penn FC gets it back. 44th minute of play, scoreless, as one may have predicted coming into a game like this between two teams that have had all sorts of problems scoring this season. Ottawa, 2 goals in their 6 games. Penn FC has 5 in their 7. Here is Oliveira. Stepped in on by Franco. Good tackle won by the right back of Penn FC. Long ball played up. M. Kasana against Henry. 1v1. Cuts to the inside. Looking to play square to Mohammed. And the backtracking Meyer Jaguar is able to take that one back. Ball headed back into the Ottawa end. They'll play it all the way back to their keeper.
And into the 45th minute of regulation time here, Brian.
Can somebody pick up a late tally to try to change the course of the game going into the second half? Edward with it. Falvey now will send it long. Looking for Dos Santos and his size.
And like a pitcher's battle in baseball, they seem to move faster when they have these defensive battles, and I don't think we're going to get much stoppage time at all, are we?
Trevitt very good in the air, the 6'2", 25-year-old out of Centennial, Colorado. The guy who is to the equal of Dos Santos on that play and was now going to force a throw in. Yeah, I'm not thinking much at all, if anything. Our 4th official does not have a sign up, and that's because there is no stoppage time to end this first half of play. So after one half of play, we have had, between two of the most offensively challenged teams in the USL, exactly what you might expect. No goals either side, and both teams will walk into the locker room knotted up. 0-0 going into halftime. We're going to step out for a break. We'll be back with our halftime show coming up after this. This is Penn FC Soccer.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Sugar Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
And welcome back to FNB Field in Pennsylvania's capital city of Harrisburg. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux at halftime. You see the capital city crew who is looking for something to celebrate right now for their home team. Well, there hasn't been anything to celebrate on the other side either. 0-0 at halftime as we take a look at some of our upcoming events. And one thing to talk about are the 2018 summer camps. You've got residential camp at Penn State Harrisburg. It'll be June 17th through the 21st. It's a Sunday through Thursday. And this is for boys ages 13 to 18. And for those of you soccer folks out there, that's U14s through U19s is what that is. So a great opportunity there for those summer camps. And then second opportunity for a summer camp coming up will be the Harrisburg camp at Hack. It'll be June 25th through the 29th. That's a Monday through a Friday. And that is going to be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This one, though, is for boys and for girls ages 6 through 14. You've got half-day options available. Full day will include lunch and snacks. So a full roster going up there. So lots of things coming up with those camps. You got a third one, though, coming up, too, and that's the goalkeeper striker camp. That'll be held at Central Dauphin East High School. June 25th through the 29th, Monday through Friday is the times of that one, and that is a 6 to 8:15 p.m. camp. Boys and girls ages 8 through 14 for that one. So those are the camps that are coming up this year's summer camps. And great opportunities.
Great opportunity, Brian. And, you know, parents really ought to be looking at these opportunities because there's something for everybody. An opportunity to improve your skills, enhance your game, and most of all, just enjoy the game with other players and kids that are a part of the really wonderful sport of soccer.
For more information, make sure you check out the Penn FC website at www.pennfc.com. Look up the Academy Summer Camps. At this time, let's throw it to the Blake Down because we've got to learn some more stuff about what's going on in the USL.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Blake Down. Really excited to analyze the plays of the week this week. We even have an ESPN Sports Center #1 in the top 10. I hope you enjoy.
Great little move there from Cooper, sends it across, it's Jamal Johnson.
The first play from Jamal Johnson here is his goal. If you watch when he picks the ball up, he has almost like a 8 to 10 meter radius around him, and that's created by his movement and his space. You know, he's recognized that when he's going into the box, that he doesn't need to make the first post run, he doesn't need to make the far post run. It's an extremely difficult finish, and it's coming across his body, and he makes extremely good contact on the ball. He uses the pace of the cross and slots it right into the corner.
To have a completely open view of what's happening. Oh my goodness. What a goal!
I don't think there's any doubt as to why this was the #1 on the ESPN Sports Center. It's a very special thing for a player to see a goalkeeper off a line, especially from a goal kick, because he's not expecting the ball to bounce to him, especially the way it bounced to him. So when the ball did bounce to him, I think that he just thinks, why not? And he's just shown everyone there is the technique that he has, but he also showed me what I feel as though is the mentality of a player, which is something that we've not seen yet this season. I think it's fantastic.
Francois takes it away, plays it back, Brett holds, scores!
Yes, what a great pullback.
Francois' defensive play here is what creates the goal. You know, his teammate loses the ball, he takes a bad touch, but he doesn't give up on it, and he persists, and his reaction to the turnover is fantastic. And then Brett can either do one or two things. He can take a touch or he can finish it first time. The defender thinks he's going to take a first-time shot, and that's what then allows him to have the composure to relax, take the touch, and it's a great finish.
Manila makes a meal out of that one. Now Ledesma on the breakaway, and it's 3-0 as he chips Maxime Crepeau.
This goal for Cincinnati in the 76th minute is a lot about anticipation for Ledesma. The defender makes a great decision here to play the ball in behind, and when the Ottawa defender makes the mistake, and again he anticipates the mistake, maybe if it was 0-0 at the time and he was going on to win the game or try and win the game, he might have taken a touch close to the keeper. But with the way they were playing, I completely understand why he's taken the first-time finish. Thank you for watching the Blake Down on Week 7. As you can see, some fantastic goals, some fantastic plays, and I've really enjoyed analysing them. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Always love watching the breakdown, and see that every time on USLsoccer.com. And we've got a scoreless game right now. And as you would expect, Charlie, in a scoreless game, our statistics are very tame, as you can see.
They are, and just as you would expect, shots on goal, 4 each according to this, but
that's shots. That's not on goal.
Oh, I stand corrected. Shots on goal for Penn FC, 0.
And one save total.
And only 1 save total in this match thus far. Corner kicks even. Time of possession favoring Penn FC, but where they have not dominated as they have through much of the season are on the duels one, where tonight Ottawa's taking the share of those, 33-21.
And what we have noticed also about this team is just remind our fans that get your season tickets now. Still plenty of games left to go in the Penn FC season. You can get those at www.pennfc.com. Season tickets, group tickets, single match tickets, premium season tickets. Lots of good deals out there for you to pick up the best soccer that's going on in Central Pennsylvania.
It really is, and as you have pointed out throughout the season, Brian, the USL is the premier Division II league anywhere, and the brand of soccer that you're getting here is exceptional. So the opportunity to score some season tickets to come out here at beautiful FNB Field and to enjoy great entertainment is right there for you.
A little while to our next home match. That won't be until Saturday, June the 9th. The team that Penn FC is going to be playing this Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock in Toronto. The return matchup will be back here at FNB Field on Saturday, June the 9th. That is a 7 o'clock start time for that weekend. For tickets, as you can see, pennfc.com or 441-GOAL. And for those of you who no longer understand those letters at the end, it's 441-4625 on those tickets. Something that
us old timers remember the numbers and the letters.
Indeed. Beautiful look at the riverside of the Susquehanna. And right now, we're looking for somebody to put a goal in the back of the net at halftime. We have a Penn FC, Ottawa Fury FC 0-0 draw. Back with more of the halftime show and the second half of action after this. This is Penn FC Soccer.
Cougar Hill Townhomes is the official housing partner of Penn FC. The rental community located in Susquehanna Township features 3-bedroom townhomes with attached garages and optional finished basements. The community features 6 beautiful floor plans, a state-of-the-art fitness facility, and an off-leash dog park. For more information on the community, visit www.crookedhillapts.com. Crooked Hill Townhomes, the best in luxury living at Central PA.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And welcome back to FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux at the half of a 0-0 Penn FC Ottawa Fury FC matchup here on this Monday evening. We're going to take a look at some quote-unquote highlights from the first half. Not a lot at it, and that may have been the only shot that forced a save in the entire half from Jamar Dixon.
Yeah, not a lot of offensive threat and really not a lot of scoring opportunities. Both sides going to need to look to mount a consistent attack and get those goal-scoring opportunities, create more space.
Marco Franco, a couple of crosses there on the last two highlights. As you saw, he's maybe been arguably the most dangerous player from his right back position for Penn FC. Salih Mohammed, there's the one save that was forced by the Ottawa keeper, Max Crapo. Couple of opportunities, but still, both teams left wanting. There's Dos Santos cleared away, and probably the best opportunity for either team that time as Tribbett cleared it off the back line. A couple more chances for Ottawa, but Sean Lewis has been the equal of Max Crapo on the other side. Both keepers with a clean sheet thus far. Each keeper with one clean sheet on the season coming into this one. And we'll see if either coach decides to make any changes, but the Ottawa Fury next time they're on the pitch will be on Saturday, May the 12th, this coming Saturday at 2 o'clock. They're right back at TD Place. For Ottawa Fury tickets, see there it's www.ottawafurifc.com for that, and they will be taking on Atlanta United 2, and one of those two teams that you never know what you're going to get out of them from time to time.
Both sides coming onto the pitch tonight with clean sheets, and thus far through 45 minutes, they continue with that in a defensive struggle.
So both teams out there right now on the pitch as we're getting set to get going in the second half. This Penn FC team, again, rebranded this season as it was the Harrisburg City Islanders before, but now led by majority owner George Altiers, local owner Eric Pettis, and also Rush Soccer. Penn FC now is Central Pennsylvania's team here in the USL. And this team just coming up with its first win this past Friday after the rebranding. Still only 2 losses on the season, which is important also because it means you're getting some results at this point. 4 draws, very high total at this stage in the season, but still that means you're not losing those games. You're not winning them either. And right now we need a goal to change the course of this game, or we're careening towards a 5th draw on the season as Raul Voss,
which would give them the league lead in draws.
Raul Voss, their head coach, looking for an answer here. I would not necessarily expect a lot of changes from Penn FC, considering they have a game coming up in less than 2 days.
Yeah, their personnel situation is pretty well locked in, and as you have mentioned previously, they are going with a very different lineup tonight than they did on Friday night in anticipation of a travel day with a lot of mileage in there as they move north of the border, and then a game early on Wednesday.
Depends who your driver is, but been told that trip to Toronto, if I remember correctly, is anywhere from around 7 to 8 hours to get there.
And you got to make a stop or two in there as well. So I mean, it's a long day.
Tough for the day of recovery to be that trip, but that is what this team is facing as we are underway here in the second half. Ball played up. Freddie Opoku, usually out on that left wing, making a more central run that time, was in a dangerous spot. Barone to the back. It is Metzger with it now. Penn FC now going from right to left in the blue unis with the white trim. Ottawa in their road whites. A little bit of maroon and black in there as the trim. Shaibu. Now over on this far side to Calvano. Looking to spin the ball over to the sideline. Cannot get the ball over there to Metzger in time. It'll go, or check that, Franco, and it will go over the sideline for a throw-in for the Ottawa Fury.
Shadows beginning to gather out on the pitch here at FNB Field as the sun sets behind us in the west. A beautiful night here, Brian. You could not ask for better conditions.
Raul Voss, the head coach of Penn FC, was asked immediately following that game against Tampa Bay, the importance of this game with Ottawa. He said that he wanted to enjoy the moment right now, and then Saturday morning, which was the next day, they train and start to get in how we're going to approach Ottawa. They want to get this momentum going and try to get the next 3 points right away. So he knows how important it is to try to strike while the iron's hot.
Right, and the goal tonight is to pick up 3 points, not to pull a draw. I mean, a draw is going to be a disappointment tonight for Penn FC. They need to find a goal. They need to find a consistent scoring attack again, as they did Saturday night. I mean, Saturday night they looked very, very good offensively.
A draw earlier this year against Charleston was not a horrible result. A draw against Nashville earlier this year was also not a horrible result. This is one that they feel on paper they should win, and the same can be said about this Ottawa Fury team as well. They feel that this is a game that is very much in their wheelhouse if they can find a way to get out of the doldrums of not scoring. Only 2 goals on the season thus far for the Fury through 6.5 games.
Which matched the production of Penn FC prior to Friday night. They had, you know, a pretty anemic start offensively as well. Not a lot of goal production. And tonight,
that's
no goal production for either
long
side.
Ball for Mohammed over on that right flank. Well played that time by Meyer Jaguar. Throw in Penn FC. Franco plays it right back, plays it behind his intended man.
Little miscommunication there, I think. They're talking to each other now, but it's after the play.
Looking for Menjivar. Richie Menjivar, El Salvadorian, making his 6th start of the season. And Menjivar was with the New York Cosmos a year ago, was Rayo OKC in 2016, with the Rowdies in 2015. 2014, the San Antonio Scorpions. 2013, the Atlanta Silverbacks. He's been pretty much everywhere, and he also has 41 caps for the El Salvadorian national team. So a much traveled attacking mid for Penn FC. Throw in Ottawa. We are in the 49th minute of play, still scoreless, and really nothing going on here so far here in this second half. Lewis squirts one up.
And that's what's unusual. You would expect that at this point they're not still feeling each other out, Brian, but it looks that way down on the pitch. It looks like it very early in the match, a kind of tentative poke and prod, see what's happening approach to mounting the attack instead of a consistent look upfield with good support and finding good space.
Falvey is the outlet of the pass for Ottawa. Now over here to Edward. And the ball up to Reed. He's now over on the right side. Tips the ball forward. Goes around. Howarth has a shot. Hits the post and stays out. And that pretty much sums it up as the captain's armband goes up with the arms of Carl Howarth, who made a great move but could not finish.
And Penn FC can say a little prayer on that one because there was 100% net. Keeper came off his line, was out of position there, struck right on the near post.
In the 50th minute of action, Ottawa with the best opportunity of the game, but the shot from Carl Howarth goes wide, or check that, hits the post and goes wide, and it will remain 0-0. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. You get a good look at Carl Howarth, a guy who has a pedigree for scoring. 13 career goals now in his 5th season with Ottawa. He is the 2nd leading scorer all time, according to the notes that I saw.
Here's another look.
This would have been 14. Didn't get any bend on that ball at all, and as a result, it stays out. He's got 1 goal less than the leading scorer all time for Ottawa, and I know you know who this is because I talked to you about it pregame, and you did get it correct when I asked you.
And I might have had a little bit of a hint, given the fact that he is now on the Penn FC side.
Tommy Heineman is the all-time leading scorer in Ottawa Fury history with 14 goals. 2 seasons is what he did, but Howarth missed half of last year due to injury. He actually tried once back in 2012 with the Harrisburg City Islanders franchise, but was not signed at that time.
And Heineman had a great night on Friday night. He was really looking for it, and he got it.
Heineman's played for so many teams too, and pretty much every other team that comes in here is going to be a former team for Tommy Heineman, a great goal scorer wherever he goes. Falvey will play it up to midfield. Dos Santos, first man to it. Oliveira. Meyer Jaguar loses the ball, and here's Penn FC with it with M. Kasana. Shaibu to the feet of Metzger, now to M. Kasana. Metzger loses it, and it in turn fouls. And will we have a card of some sort as they're going to quickly step in between? It looked like it was Oliveira who was taken down on the play. He had backtracked to help out defensively and got the interception. A restart for the Fury. Franco has it go behind him, an opportunity here on the side. And Franco backtracks and is able to play it over the end line for a corner kick. As that was Carl Howarth who was making the move down on that left flank. 4-3-3, very offensive-minded attack, and the Fury trying to make it work here in the 53rd minute. Scoreless game. Here's a corner kick, the second of the game for the Fury. Howarth will take it. The congested corner. In-swinger from the right foot. Goes right to the middle, headed out by Penn FC. They will look to counter now. The speed of Mohammed over on that right flank. Well done that time, though, and playing very solidly over on that left back. Thomas Meyer Jaguar, he has done a fantastic job on over there so far here in place of the injured Onoa Abasi. And Abasi's going to be out for a little while, so that's important.
An ankle injury there, and you're correct. He's done well out there tonight in replacement.
Ball sent back into the Penn FC end. Calvano over to Franco, back to Calvano, plays it back to his keeper. Howarth will give chase. He almost got a piece of that one and forces an errant pass from Lewis, who tried to get that over to his preferred right foot, and that delay allowed Howarth to close.
And now a throw in on the far touchline for Ottawa.
So the Fury have been a little bit more the aggressor here over the last 5 minutes of play. Dos Santos in the left corner. Not known for his crossing, known more for his scoring. So he is able to tool that one off of Thiago Calvano for a throw-in for the Fury. Have your say on the USL's Player of the Month award for April in the online poll at uslsoccer.com that opens on Thursday, May 3rd, and runs throughout the weekend. Here comes the long throw. You got one of these guys, you let him throw it. And here it comes from that far side, thrown into the box. Headed by Calvano. Shot deflected off the foot, the left foot that time of Christian Portilla. And it will be another corner coming up for Ottawa. Portilla making the call. So raises both arms up in the air to let his mates know what he's planning on doing with this one. They are collapsing around Sean Lewis in goal. Ball played back post. It hit the post and is cleared away. So that hit, I think, maybe the top of the post. That one was bent by Portilla. Quickly, Penn FC the other way, and unable to keep it in play is Edward in the back. So it'll be a throw in for Penn FC.
Penn FC countered very quickly that time. They wanted to get it as far out of play as they could, but watch this.
Here's Lewis on the backside, and wow, that hit the post.
The inside of the post. That is as dangerous as you can get.
And remember, folks, if that goes in, that is direct, so it would have been a goal. Instead, for the second time in this half, Ottawa has hit post and has stayed out. Menjivar loses the ball to Portilla. Quickly up the other way, looking for Dos Santos. He has really shifty speed. I mean, very deceptive, and Trevitt able to win the throw-in off of him, but not before a good challenge by Dos Santos.
And when you say shifty, he can accelerate so quickly. I mean, he's coming at you, and you think you're even steps with him, and all of a sudden he's 2 steps ahead of you. Very, very quick.
The guy, as tall as he is, his strides do not seem as long as what they are. He sort of scoots. and it really picks up a high speed quickly.
Then just throws it into that extra gear, and he's tough to defend.
So for Penn FC, Haruna Shaibu, again making his first start of the season. Back in that holding mid-roll. Mkasana with a nice little touch pass over on the right side. Franco into the box. Nobody home on the back post. And sent over the near side. As moving up to get it was Barone. But instead, it was played out by Howarth.
Had a good delivery there. Unfortunately, as you said, nobody at home, but a good idea and a very nicely delivered ball.
Barone will throw in. Played back to him. Trying to make a move to the inside. A little congestion there. Penn FC gets it back. Here's Menjivar. Menjivar can't keep it in. Dixon bodied him up enough to affect the play. So it'll be a throw in for Ottawa. Play My First Million, the new scratch-off from the Pennsylvania Lottery for your chance at top prizes of $1 million. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux here in the 58th minute, still scoreless. Penn FC and the Ottawa Fury. And our center referee not happy with something, as he has had enough of the jostling between Kevin Oliveira and Dan Metzger. Has a talking with both of them. We're not going to see cards for either one, but believe maybe the next infraction for either one of them of that time.
They're going to be watching closely now.
Ball headed into the Penn FC end, and they'll play it all the way back to Lewis, who's in goal, making his second start of the season. Lewis blasts the ball up across midfield. Metzger will have it in the center circle. Here's a chance. Menjivar wide open on his left flank. Here comes Barone. He'll cross with the left. A knuckling cross. Mem Kasana plays it back. Muhammad, great sliding tackle from Eddie Edward to prevent a goal. A shot from Marco Franco and a shot in front. He was offside anyways, but Muhammad had snuck in there. He was going to be called offside and missed the goal high regardless.
The flag was up, but that's the play that they've been looking for.
We'll see the initial one here on the replay. Barone did a great job with a knuckling cross coming across, and Kasana selfishly heads it back, and Edward aware on the spot. They sent the ball right back in, and Muhammad had never reset. So the goal kick coming up, or the free kick after the offside for Ottawa. Ball eventually headed out off of Ottawa for a Penn FC throw. ESPN Plus is the new streaming home of the USL in the United States. Watch all the action throughout the 2018 regular season and USL Cup playoffs starting on Saturday, April 14th. Visit USLsoccer.com for more details. Shaibu a little bit too physical that time on Jamar Dixon. Will give away a foul in the midfield. Neither coach going to their bench yet. Charlie, do you think it's going to be soon?
You would have to think, and yet you're concerned, especially on the Penn FC side, with personnel, given the fact that they've got that excruciating next couple of days and a match on Wednesday morning, which is going to be really only like 36 hours from tonight's match.
Yellow card, our first of the match, is going to be shown to Thiago Calvano. And for Calvano, that is his third yellow of the season. He picks that one up, the 36-year-old Brazilian defender, for climbing up the back of Dos Santos, and he led with the right arm right into the side of the head. So that will be a yellow card shown, and a dangerous free kick opportunity coming up for the Ottawa Fury.
These set pieces from this position in the field are always dangerous. It may be the most dangerous spot on the field, maybe a little bit more to the center circle, but 15 yards out of the box, it's trouble.
Oliveira will have his right foot. Looks like Portilla will have his left foot. We'll see which one of them will take this. Wall is being reset. Looks like a four-man wall here for Penn FC to try to help out their keeper, Sean Lewis. 62nd minute of action. Scoreless for now for Penn FC and Ottawa. Fury 25 yards out from goal. Oliveira, never a chance.
Nothing. I mean, just completely nothing on that. And you've got to wonder, because that didn't challenge at all, and you had all that action down there on the wall. You had an Ottawa player planted in that first wall and nothing.
That skied high and never came down at all. Substitutes on each bench for tonight for Penn FC. Kyle Venter, who had the opening goal on Friday night, is available. Prince Baffo, Calvin Resend, Jerry Ortiz are listed as midfielders who are available tonight, and Isaac Osei, who has not made an appearance yet for Penn FC, is also available off the bench tonight for Raul Voss. For head coach Nikola Popovic, for Ottawa, he's got 5 guys total. 1, the backup keeper, David Mensah. He's also got Sergio Menesio, Gerardo Bruna, Tony Taylor, and Jimmy Sanon.
Tony Taylor, late of Philadelphia Phillies fame, is he not?
Not this one. This one started the last time they had a game. He's actually from Long Beach, California, although he also has 3 caps with the Panamanian national team. Mohammed, it's a nice look for Metzger, who will switch the point of attack over to the right side. A little bit of room for Franco, who will cross in the box. Kasana looks for the bike, but does not connect. Cleared out by Ottawa. Franco, well done tracking that one down. Knew it was going to be off of his team, and instead keeps the possession for Penn FC, and we are going to have that first substitute of the match.
Good decision to switch fields there by Penn FC, and had you put it on M. Kasana's foot, he was there for the bicycle, just not quite in sync.
Haruna Shaibu has gone 63 minutes more than he has in any other game this season, as this was his first start. So Calvin Resend will come into the game and get his opportunity for the last maybe half an hour of this one. Gets the touch immediately, his first one. And Penn FC will retain the possession with Calvano.
And a fresh set of legs helps here, it really does. And we mentioned the fact that personnel tonight is an issue for Penn FC, given the fact they've got a travel day tomorrow and then a match very early on Wednesday. But a fresh set of legs here, maybe a spark for them.
We will see, as an errant pass that time from Penn FC, trying to spring something long. There's going to be one back by Penn FC in the middle of the field, Menjivar. They swing it over here on the near side to Barone. Patient over to Tribbett. This allows Penn FC also to reset what they want to do. Metzger take a more central role here in the back. Here's a step up and a shot deflected and now played out by Ottawa. Reed has been quiet here in the second half. He's been playing a little bit more defense. We're going to have a foul called against Calvano, who already has a card in this one. And knowing how our center referee is in this game, he is not going to allow the quick restart from anywhere except from exactly the spot that he expected the foul was called from.
He's a take charge official, and you like that.
And just as I mentioned, we had not seen Reed do much here in the second half. Adonijay Reed will be subbed out for this first substitute of the game for the Ottawa Fury. So Reed will go out, the 18-year-old out of Brampton, Ontario, and he will be replaced by Jimmy Sanon. He is a 5'7", 21-year-old midfielder out of Montreal.
And I think we can look for a couple more substitutions on the Penn FC side here shortly.
So it is Sanon who is over there. He keeps that one in play, tries to bend it across. Tribbett is there and then left foots it up the field. Falvey will chest that over to Eddie Edward. Edward looking to make a little bit of a run down the side. Cut off there. Sanon has to play it back. Portilla finds a lot of space over on the outside, but the on-rushing Meyer-Giger unable to find the spot.
A little bit ahead of his man, but there was an awful lot of space out there, and a long run could have been an opportunity, but didn't connect.
Keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. Penn FC with the possession. They lose it, though. Good pressure by the Fury in the midfield to win it back. And those have sort of been most of the highlights here in this game, are pressures and interceptions, with the exception of 2 shots off the post in the second half for the Fury. One, a golden goal scoring opportunity, and an open goal by Carl Howarth could not bend it in enough to avoid the right post, at least from our vantage point. And the left post was tested by a corner kick by Christian Portilla. For Penn FC, they haven't been that close, as they still have yet to really test strongly the goal of Max Crepeau. 68th minute of action of a scoreless game. Calvano almost bumped off the ball by Dos Santos and then shakes him. Goes to Franco. Mkasana looking to come back. Checks to the ball well. Held up, but Menjivar is there. Tries to switch the point of attack to the near side. Skips right under the boot of Mohammed, who has switched over here to the left flank. As now he's over here to the left. You've got a Poku over on the right. So different look with different footed players on each side. Play the new My First Million, the brand new scratch off from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play today for your chance to win top prizes of $1 million. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Dixon has his man open. Here comes Howarth. Ball to the middle, and Lewis comes out sliding in front. And an on-rushing Kevin Oliveira. Just enough pressure from the back group there, Charlie, for Penn FC.
Yeah, just enough, and ultimately not really as threatening as it looked originally, but the defenders are going to have to mark up a little more tightly along that back line. They're allowing too much space and too many open runs.
They're almost reverting back into that 3-man back, with Metzger joining them. But when he's not joining them,
he's getting caught up too many times.
Well, he's a midfielder, and their backs are both creeping forward. So you've got Barone over here on the left side. The guy who just played the ball was Franco on the right, and that's a good-looking ball over to. The chance there is, here comes Mohammed. Can't get to the back post. Eddie Edward will run out of there. The cross that time from a Poku, skipped by Mkasana and Mohammed of Penn FC, along with the entire back line of Ottawa.
Both Mkasana and Mohammed had a shot at that. Neither one could come up, and that was a well-delivered ball. Either one of them would have had a great point-blank scoring opportunity.
70th minute of action. Penn FC 0. Ottawa Fury 0. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us on a beautiful Monday evening for soccer. Throw-in coming up for Ottawa. That is Howarth. He's going to choose not to do it. He'll move into a more offensive position. It'll be Eddie Edward. Eddie Edward, who's given first name, is not Edward. Not Edward. He's actually Giovanni. Howarth will win a corner, or is it a throw? It will be a corner. Actually, Eddie comes from his middle name of Edson. So it's Giovanni Edson Edward.
What other famous soccer star's first name was Edson?
Would that not be Pele?
It would be Pele. Very good.
Pele would probably have a couple goals in this one.
He might have.
Here's the in-swinger. Punched away by Lewis and shifted over to the far side. He was affected as he went for it, so a foul called against the Ottawa Fury. Same idea there on that corner, though, for them as Portilla went for the back post.
Edson Arantes do Nascimento, the Black Pearl, and without a doubt, the greatest soccer player ever. They stopped a war for him.
That's impressive.
That says a lot.
That's impressive. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. So each coach has used one of their substitutions. Jimmy Sanon came on for Ottawa, and for Penn FC, it was Calvin Resend. It was both of those individuals trying to use their fresh legs to affect the game. Both of them midfielders, at least how they're being employed right now. Mkasana turns with it for Penn FC. Has an opportunity with Resend. Zendover stepping over, chips to the inside. Opoku gets it poked away from him. Opportunity for the counterattack. A professional foul given by Dan Metzger. We very well may see a yellow card here. Nope. Thought for a moment they may give that one just because of where it was and the opportunity for Ottawa.
I thought there was a possibility of that as well.
Errant ball run down by Sanon. Diagonal run. You see his speed and those fresh legs at this point. Ottawa plays all the way into their back line to Daniil Henry.
The last time down, though, Penn FC had numbers and was mounting a very, very quick attack. Unfortunately, because they weren't properly organized, they gave the defenders the opportunity to come back and fill and take away the numerical advantage they had. And that's going to be something they're going to have to work on. That comes when you've got a consistent group of people on the field, though.
Because of the scheduling and the fact that Coach Raul Voss wanted to play a fresh unit today, because of the game that they played on Friday and the game that's coming up in not too long. Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. That's not even 2 full days between games. And I would venture to say maybe the worst scheduling as far as time for any team in the USL this season would be my guess. I did not look at it.
You'd have a hard time finding anything worse. I mean, that's brutal. It really is, because you're going to be on a bus for 7, 8, 9 hours. You're going to arrive. You're going to have to do something physical for the next morning's match. And then you're up very, very, I just wanted to let you see that. Then you're up very, very early the next morning, and you got to be out at the field, you know, hours before the match. So it's a tough, tough schedule.
Ball chipped back. Good job back there, and this will be underrated for what he did, but Menjivar went back to affect Dos Santos, because that ball that was played by Tribbett was a dangerous one for Lewis. Was able to get a hard touch to it, but one that bounced away from him, and Menjivar's shielding allowed the keeper to keep possession for Penn FC.
You're right, well played. And M. Kasana, they're trying to make something happen, but ultimately giving it away.
Here's Menjivar here, goes to ground to keep possession. Penn FC now swings it over to this near side with Barone. The left back comes back to it. Has Muhammad. He's 30 yards out from goal. No angle there, as the Fury are very well positioned. Back over here to Menjivar on the side. They play to Calvano. Calvano, a poor touch there, and Dos Santos gets by him. Here comes Dos Santos on the left side. Not much support with him. Tribbett back. Lewis gets the save and cleared away by Penn FC. Another opportunity. Here comes Howard, the shot. Blocked and ripped right into Dos Santos, or a hand as far as what Ottawa Fury is looking for.
Calvano just got beat on that, and that could have been very, very dangerous.
Ball played up, looking for the head of Dos Santos, headed away instead by Tribbett. Here in the 75th minute, Ottawa, a great rush, and Franco steps in, gets the interception, and because of it, wins the foul against Oliveira.
And your official's going to demand the reset. You're not going to let him just play on, but yeah, that Calvano error there was really, really potentially dangerous, and the defenders there did a great job in not allowing a real scoring opportunity.
Going to have another Penn FC substitute coming in shortly. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Long ball for Penn FC. That one stayed a little too straight, though. Didn't bend over to Barone. We're going to have a sub coming in. It's going to be Kyle Venter checking into the game, and he's going to come in for Thiago Calvano, who already has that yellow card. Made the mistake there in the back, and really, because of the yellow card, would not have had a chance to really do anything anyways.
Right.
Would have had to be careful.
Right.
So this is a time where Raul Voss says, hey, maybe we can do something with the guy who scored the other night, as Kyle Venter checks into the game.
And Calvano, one of the stand-up defenders for Penn FC, always a stalwart on the back line. Tonight, though, didn't have his best outing.
Third appearance of the year for Kyle Venter, a 27-year-old out of Aurora, Illinois. And a guy who has familiarity with Ottawa, as he was with them the last 2 years. So in the the 77th minute comes that substitution for Penn FC, who now has the throw-in back on their own defensive half of the field. Well, the first time that Penn FC had back-to-back home games this year, the second game was a 0-0 draw with Nashville. We are careening quickly towards that same potential result here in the second of back-to-back home games with the Ottawa Fury.
We are, and two sides that have had trouble scoring goals this year have really not mounted much of a challenge to each other at all tonight. Very, very few scoring opportunities, no sustained offensive threats, and just a couple of mistakes really that have led to the opportunities that did exist. So both sides still kind of feeling each other out a little bit in the midfield, looking for an opportunity to poke through and penetrate the defense and get a real shot on goal.
Here comes a chance. The ball played up for M. Kasana. Can't get on the right side of Henry, who's able to clear it back to midfield. Venter with one of his first touches since checking in. Apoku looking to slide that one in, and instead it's sent down the other way. Venter will outrun Dos Santos, cannot get it where he needs to give Lewis a good chance at it. Good rush from Howarth to win the ball back after the errant pass. Here comes Oliveira. Left side of the Penn FC box. Turn, shot, deflected high in the air. Lewis is not going to get it before it goes over the end line. It'll be a corner kick coming up for the Ottawa Fury. I believe that's their fourth of the game, third of this, or check that, fourth of the second half for the Fury, fifth overall. You see there Marco Franco. He played the other night and looks like he might be feeling the effects of it also.
Grimacing just a little.
Have a feeling if they can afford to, they will give him a rest on Wednesday. Here comes that in-swinger. Dos Santos leaned for it, couldn't get there. Howarth tracks it down on the far side. We'll try to send it right back into the mix. Over on this near side. Shot by Portilla. Headed back out of danger to the near side of the box. Portilla is there. Portilla spins down to the byline. No. And that is going to be a foul called as Christian Portilla ends up grabbing a hold of the shirt. Penn FC looking to counter quickly here. They know they have some of the taller players down the field for Ottawa, so they'll send it long. Here comes Franco, the right back on the right side. It slid out of play, and they're going to say last touched by the Penn FC defender, who will now get called for a foul as he runs over Howarth. 80th minute of play. They're going to talk to him, but I don't know that they're going to card him. And they will.
He stuck his hand in his pocket.
So it will be a card shown to Marco Franco here in the 80th minute, the second card, the second half for Penn FC. Play My First Million, the new scratch off for the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. So the restart will go to the Fury. Menjivar will be the one-man wall, just to sort of set everybody up for where they need to be. This is definitely a crossable situation. And we're going to have a substitution for Penn FC, as it will be Jerry Ortiz who will replace Salih Muhammad. And Ortiz has been a danger guy when he's been in the lineup for Penn FC.
He has. He's made a lot happen. Very, very quick, fast on his feet, and a spark plug offensively. So let's see if he can instill a little extra in the Penn FC side right now.
Fifth appearance of the year for Ortiz. Ball sent high in the air, twisting backside, headed over to the near sideline by Penn FC's Ken Tribbett.
Get a throw in far down that touch line, and these are almost crosses if you can get a good throw.
If you got somebody strong enough to do it. And you know usually when that happens, if you've got somebody who's asking for a change of ball, because he wants to get a good grip, and that is Carl Howarth. We'll throw this one in. Flicked back post, ball played up and out by Menjivar. And Penn FC with some speed. That is Apoku. Plays it centrally to Resend. Metzger able to wait, but could not play it accurately to Opoku, and here comes Ottawa the other way.
Metzger wanted to go to the outside, and the speed that they have out on that far touch line, but just couldn't slide it through.
Here's Eddie Edward. Makes a square run, and they'll drops it back to Henry. And Ottawa will take pace out of the ball, at least for a moment here. Posting up, going to make something happen. Here's a steal. Resend had it and is able to get it over to his man. And here comes Ortiz, his first touch of the game. Gets around one man. Tries to cut to the outside. Continues to make the run and is taken down, and that's going to be a yellow card shown to Eddie Edward, who is absolutely incensed right now at his midfield for losing the ball. He doesn't even bother worrying about the yellow. He runs up to yell at the guys up the field.
He had a point, too. And Ortiz with a great run there. Had he not been fouled so harshly as he was, he might have had the shot on goal. He really took it to him.
Take a look at this again as Falvey, really a lackluster challenge that time. And Edward had no choice but to probably take him down, or that's a really dangerous opportunity for Ortiz.
A really dangerous opportunity.
And it still is, because it's a free kick opportunity coming up for Penn FC, and Ortiz is a guy who takes these when he's in there.
At that position on the pitch that we've talked about all season long, Brian, the most dangerous spot. I mean, you're just above the circle. You've got a shot opportunity. You've got other opportunities off of misses and rebounds, etc. So this is a dangerous position.
About 25 yards or so out from goal. Originally, it was going to be in a little closer, but because the contact started about where Ortiz is right now, that's where they're going to set this up. Center referee Matt Franz has backed everybody off. 84th minute of play. Could this be the moment for Penn FC? Also over it with the left foot is
M. Kasana getting pushed off of the wall there. Let's see what he's going to do about that.
Opoku steps to it, but instead Ortiz, the right-footed shot right into the wall. Ball sent up and out by Ottawa. Penn FC looking to do something with that. Tribbett will chip into the box. M. Kasana can't get a piece of it. There's an opportunity, a sliding chance for Resend. Goes wide as Crapo was coming out, and he will stay down after getting undercut that time by Calvin Resend. Dangerous, dangerous ball played back in by Ken Tribbett.
Just wide off the foot.
Here's the initial. The ball was sent up and out. The initial ball played off of Howarth in the wall. And here's that chip from Tribbett. Everyone worried about Nkasana. It's Resend on the backside who just couldn't bend it enough.
The keeper came off his line to defend that, and it left a lot of goal open. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it quite where he wanted it to be.
Ball headed up on the 50-50. And to the side, and it will be a throw-in coming up for the Ottawa Fury. Get a player's perspective of all the action around the USL every Wednesday as the Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosts the Blake Down on the USL YouTube channel.
Winding down the 85th minute of regulation here. Watch this.
Sanon with great speed gets around Venter, and a shot and saved by Sean Lewis, who comes out wisely.
A great save by Sean Lewis there. Came off the line, basically one-on-one. Real opportunity there for Ottawa.
Cuts down the angle, and here is Sanon. Turning, looking, firing off the head of Lewis, it appeared. And that's why he stays down after giving up the corner kick.
He felt it.
Here's where this whole thing started. And Sanon, the second half substitute with his great speed. Venter tried to step in. Tribbett didn't get enough of it. And the ball eluded the arms of Lewis and hit his head. And we also have Tribbett, who is down as well, who pulled up lame after that same challenge. So Lewis looks like he's okay.
He took a shot right in the face, though. That's a tough and gutsy play by the keeper for Penn FC there, and a goal-saving move.
Second start of the year for Sean Lewis. The last year, 6 starts in a backup role with 2 clean sheets. Played his college at both Western Michigan and at Oakland. First 3 years were at Western Michigan. Last one for his senior year, he transferred over to Oakland University. 25-year-olds do a lot of great soccer, especially how goalies can continue going and going. As Ramu Pizer, the 38-year-old, has shown us already this year for Penn FC. So a lot of soccer potentially for Sean Lewis. And he's shown well, yet to concede this season in one game plus what is now almost 87 minutes. Tribbett is out for a moment. Ball sent in by Ottawa, looking back post. High in the air it goes. Lewis trying to get a piece of it, and the ball goes in the net for a goal. He was impeded, and Colin Falvey with the goal.
This is going to have to be reviewed somehow.
And Penn FC is absolutely apoplectic. They are absolutely apoplectic, but the bottom line remains. There was not considered a goal, not considered enough of an impediment of Sean Lewis, and Colin Falvey the recipient. Let's look at it again. So this ball is going to be sent in, back post. Up in the air it goes. That is Henry who is pushing, but there's not a lot of contact on Lewis. He just didn't have a lot of room and didn't punch it away far enough, and Falvey ends up getting his first goal of the season. And a key one here for the Ottawa Fury. So Colin Falvey in the 88th minute of play, or make that the 87th minute of play, as it came right at the end of the 87th minute, has tallied for Ottawa. And the visitors now with the lead.
And as it turned out, it was a clean goal. You saw Lewis come out immediately, so you thought that more had gone on back there, but as we saw in the replay.
And we have seen a red card as Raul Voss has been ejected. If I am not mistaken, that also relieves him of having to worry about making a trip to Toronto.
I believe you're correct. And, you know, you wonder whether he's just taking one for the team there, because the reaction that you saw immediately wasn't 100% justified, as it looked like on the replay anyway. Very, very disappointing.
Coach is stewing right now. What it's done is it's actually taken more time off of the game clock, even though they're supposed to add that back on. So it is Penn FC now having to look for an equalizer here to salvage anything out of this one. The Ottawa Fury on a Colin Falvey goal in the 87th minute now have a 1-0 lead. Call against Jamar Dixon. Menjivar is testy, wants to get the ball back into play quickly. So it'll be Ortiz who will spin the ball forward a little bit more. Portilla has come out. We'll check on who actually ended up getting into the game. I think it may have been Bruna. We'll check that one for sure. Ball chipped up, looking back post, and caught as they were looking for Venter. And Max Crepeau looking for his second straight shutout. If he can get this one, will also get the first win of the year for the Fury. Puts the ball down, plays the ball long, and it's going to go all the way down into the Penn FC end. We are into stoppage time right now, and the card at midfield shows 3 minutes, if we can read that correctly. So that is the amount of time that Penn FC has to try to equalize in this game. So Penn FC in a rush, looking for somebody to find the back of the net to tie this one up. Ball played long. M. Kasana can't get there. Headed away by Ottawa. Resend finds Ortiz. The Colombian comes down the left side with some pace. Trying to get to the byline, can't get there. Edward plays it out. Throw in Penn FC. A little bit more urgency now for Penn FC. Played right back out by Ottawa. Ortiz will once again throw in. Resend tries to turn, cannot do so. Ortiz does not get the deflection out for Sano, and it will be a goal kick coming up for the Fury. And this will be a heartbreaking loss here for Penn FC, as everyone now in this place is getting testy because there's a substitution coming in. So it will be a substitution coming in for Ottawa. Good gamesmanship for Nikola Popovic, their head coach. as they will bring Tony Taylor onto the pitch in place of Carl Howarth because he's the captain on the field. He will hand off the armband, which takes a little bit more time as he gives it to Colin Falvey. Again, they are supposed to add this time on, but we don't always necessarily see that happen. But we are about midway through right now of what is intended to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Goal for Colin Falvey. Second-year player, at least second season with Ottawa. Was with them in 2015. Big goal here from the center back. Resend on the left side for Penn FC, looking for Ortiz, can't find him. Played right back out for Ottawa. Over the near sideline for a throw-in. And the ball came back out on the pitch, so it will be chipped out by Lewis. Here comes Venter. Does Penn FC have something left in them? Henry heads it up. Menjivar chested up. Ball played in the air. Resend going for it. Here's Mkasana. Gets his foot to it, slides it to the outside. Opoku is there. Opoku with his left foot. Spins it back to Metzger. Chips it, looking back post. Crepeau is there. He gets collided into from below. No call, but he falls right on the ball as Mkasana actually undercut him that time. That's contact in both boxes, although that was heavier contact that time, Charlie, from Penn FC.
It was, and Penn FC really pressing the attack, but you see Mkasana submarining on that one.
That was simultaneous, though, too. So it'll Venter, Edward, the battle of heads, finally controlled by Penn FC in the back. Venter. We are past the 3 minutes allotted stoppage time. Ball played all the way back to Crepeau. He goes down. He's waiting for a whistle. It's not coming yet, but it will be shortly from our center referee, Matt Franz.
He's in no hurry.
Long ball played up. Penn FC, do they have one more rush in them? Barone, Ortiz. Now to Barone, back to Ortiz. One last chance for Penn FC. Ball dispossessed by Edward. That's the final whistle. And the Ottawa Fury, in slightly controversial fashion, win on the road. Their first victory of the season comes at the hands of Penn FC. A 1-0 victory by the Ottawa Fury over Penn FC on a 87th minute goal by Colin Falvey.
Disappointing loss tonight, Brian. You can't put it in any other terms. Unfortunately, Penn FC never mounted the attack that they needed to have, didn't score, and then in the very, very end, somewhat controversial though, from the replay, we're really not sure. It looked that way initially, but when you had a chance to observe it again, maybe not so much. But a vital game match for Penn FC turns out in a disappointing loss at home, and now they've got to go on the road on very short notice.
And a vital win for the Ottawa Fury, who get their first victory of the season and continue their upward trajectory as they have been playing much better soccer of late, and the Canadians will take this win back home north of the border. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Harrisburg as Penn FC loses tonight at home to the Ottawa Fury 1-0. This is Penn FC Soccer.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Welcome back one final time to FNB Field here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Tonight, the Ottawa Fury FC with their first victory of the season. A 1-0 victory on the road against Penn FC. And for Penn FC, a bitter defeat because not only was this a game they were hoping to win and get 3 points, but they also lose it late on an 87th minute goal by Colin Falvey. And here is the replay of that from one position. And initially when we saw that one, it looked like Lewis was obstructed, but when you take a couple other looks at this one, it looks like there was maybe glancing contact and Lewis just lost his balance a little bit when he got bumped a little bit by a pile of people. I think this last one is the best one to look at.
Yeah, they came out very aggressively after the official, but you know, you look at it and I don't know.
I've seen that called. I've seen it not called tonight.
Yeah,
you could go either
again,
way.
Brian, the bottom line is Penn FC did not mount a consistent attack tonight. They didn't get scoring opportunities. They didn't score goals, and they let the Ottawa side stick around, hang around. Ottawa hit the post twice, once the inside of the post. You look here at the shots and the saves. Not a single save tonight by the Ottawa side. You can't play 90 minutes of soccer and not have to put any pressure on a goalkeeper and expect to win.
And if I remember correctly, the teams were tied at 4 shots apiece going into halftime. When you get outshot 9-3 in the second half, the corner kicks were 5-0 Ottawa. The possession lies like it does many times where Penn FC controls a lot of the possession, but the better opportunities in this game were to the Ottawa Fury. They hit the right post, they hit the left post, and more importantly, at the end of the game, they were able to hit the back of the net one time.
Well said. I mean, that really sums up this match. And unfortunately, Penn FC drops a heartbreaker. And now they have to head on the road. A little bit of pressure on them up in Toronto.
Indeed. And in Toronto, they are on Wednesday at 11 a.m. You can see that on ESPN+, so make sure you check that out. It's an early morning game for you at 11, and then they're off for a couple of weeks. For the Ottawa Fury, they are back home this Saturday to try to build on their win streak, which is now at 1 game, as they will next play a 2 o'clock game against Atlanta United 2. For everyone involved tonight, thank you for joining us. For Charlie Giroux, this is Brian Kaiser saying good evening from Harrisburg, where Penn FC loses tonight to the Ottawa Fury. The Fury's first win of the season. 1-0 is the final score. This is Penn FC Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.